late lunch break to talk to y'all about Raw and all things WWE right now. I have a few minutes. Been a while since I've hopped on live with you guys. A lot going on. Of course, we just had WWE Raw Brussels, which took place March 17th on Netflix. Aired actually at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Got to be the earliest start time for Raw ever. Also, one of the shorter Raws in the last 12, 13 years. I think it was finished at a cool 2 hours, which, hey, I am certainly not complaining. But before we dive in, there was some news that just came out via the trades in Hollywood that WWE is hosting a Roast of WrestleMania event featuring Tony Heathcliff or Hinchcliffe, whatever the racist dude's name is, who was the comedian that was at the MAGA rally who made the Puerto Rico is a dump joke, or that it's like full of garbage or garbage island, whatever the case may be. Not only is this guy a scumbag and going to be hosting the quote-unquote comedy WrestleMania festivities, but also, from what I read, he apparently also once did a roast of various wrestlers, which included him roasting Ric Flair and making fun of his dead son. Now, there are plenty of opportunities to roast Ric Flair without bringing his late son into the conversation, but obviously this guy's a scumbag, so what are you going to do? And of course, shout out to The Wind, of course, putting my hair in the background. If you're watching on YouTube, I will be uploading this as well on the TSC podcast feed. But anyway, so that just kind of sums up wrestling for me right now. It's American wrestling, right? You get excited for certain things like the John Cena heel turn, a relatively exciting AEW pay-per-view. And then you get reminded that there are plenty of scumbags in the industry and plenty of scumbags being brought into the industry, whether it's WWE bringing in this guy for no reason, whether it's you finding out that the executive producer of WWE, Lee Fitting, was apparently a pervert and was let go at ESPN for being an alleged pervert, or allegedly engaging in sexual harassment. Obviously, you still got the Vince McMahon, Janel Grant lawsuit looming, and on top of that, of course, if you want to bring up AEW, I mean, obviously Chris Jericho's presence in general from last year's allegations, definitely not a good look. So, yeah, just wanted to put that all out there first because I think it's worth noting. For anybody that's followed me for a while, y'all know that I usually do cover a lot of the real life stories of wrestling. And it is hard sometimes, even during WrestleMania season, to turn off your brain at just how scummy some people and things are in the industry. But for now, we will attempt to, and we'll turn our attention to Raw. So Raw was in Belgium, in Brussels. Amazing, amazing crowd. Although I didn't really like the fact that they buried Bianca Belair and booed her. I don't think she's really been portrayed as a heel in this whole situation so far, although maybe they suspect she attacked Jade. But I thought Raw was pretty good. That was a very easy watch. Again, just 2 hours of wrestling and promo action. Not bad at all. I don't need 3 hours. Wrapped up by 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is great. And John Cena came out and did a very interesting promo about how he was been in an abusive relationship for 25 years with the fans. All you guys do is take. It's always about what do we get? 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 It's not about me. And then he made one line that I found a little cringe, but it's John Cena, so he can get away with it. He said, "I'm not a babyface. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being." And he essentially blamed the fans for him turning on Cody Rhodes and aligning himself with The Rock. But here's the thing. And now the heat was incredible for this. The crowd booed him. They sang John Cena sucks. F you, Cena. All that was phenomenal. But afterwards, I couldn't help but think he didn't mention the WWE Championship and the record-breaking 17th title reign once. And he didn't mention The Rock or Travis Scott once, which is kind of weird. A few people brought this up to me. It's like, imagine if Hulk Hogan cut a promo 2 weeks later after joining the NWO and didn't mention Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. That'd be kind of weird, right? Or even mention Eric Bischoff. That'd be kind of weird, right? So that was a little like, huh? Now, granted, we do have, 30-something days before Mania. So we got time. We got time just to see what exactly is going to happen, how this gets sorted, all that jazz. What his other motivations are. But I don't know. To me, he left a little something on the table. Great heat and great delivery. He's a phenomenal promo. Obviously, he's one of the all-time greats. Great actor. He did also note that he's not changing anything. So he's not changing his music. He's not changing his gear. He essentially said, like, y'all are dressed like me. I'm not dressing like you. And he even dissed and he even dissed his fans. He said, all the fans are dressed like me. You're also toxic. You're in a toxic relationship. And the camera panned to a kid in the crowd wearing the full John Cena Belgium gear. Poor kid. Poor kid. What did he do? So yeah, John Cena essentially epitomized the F them kids meme with Michael Jordan. Afterwards, Cody Rhodes came out. Huge pop. Did his full entrance. Pyro, everything. Great delivery. Great, great gravitas. And he essentially said, what is this? I want to face the John Cena. I want to face the 16-time world champion. I want to face this whiny little bitch. And he dropped the mic and left. And all I could think was, one, great promo, great heat, packed him up. Two, wait a second. Cody got beaten up. He got beat up. I repeat, y'all, he got beat up. So Cody Rhodes got beat down by The Rock, by Travis Scott, by John Cena, bloodied, battered, black eye, busted eardrum. It's great that he cut that promo on Cena. And again, in the moment, live, the heat was great. The crowd was amazing. This definitely sold me on the match, even though I was already kind of sold on the match because it's a battle of generations. That being said, after the euphoria, after the adrenaline rush of what you saw on TV with the crowd and everything else, I thought to myself, they really did leave something on the table. Why wasn't Cody Rhodes restrained? I feel like if this was Stone Cold Steve Austin, if this was Babyface Rock back in the day, if this is even John Cena to an extent, that they would try to attack the person who attacked them. Now, I think Cody was just trying to give John Cena the benefit of the doubt. He even said he was willing to hear him out. But yeah, I think that to me left a little something on the table. Again, overall, great heat, going viral. I've already seen memes of the John Cena promo pop up all over Instagram and TikTok. So at the end of the day, look, I mean, unless they really screw this up and they try to screw this up like they tried to screw up Hogan and Rock back in the day when they did like that. If you're young and don't remember or don't know or weren't alive then, they had Rock versus Hogan back in the day in 2002. This feud writes itself, Battle of Generations, and yet they added an element that people forgot, which is Hulk Hogan ramming a truck into an ambulance that The Rock was in. Completely unnecessary, also completely forgotten about, rightfully so. It's just sometimes like WWE likes to insert these stupid angles in the middle of feuds that write themselves. They did the same thing a few years ago with Bianca and Sasha Banks, where they inserted Reggie, the sommelier, into the mix, which is so stupid in retrospect. So, yeah. Anyway, they got time. Overall, I thought it was a home run promo as far as heat goes. But I really would like to hear Cena's motivations for, the championship and why he joined his longtime sworn enemy, The Rock. And I would really like to hear Cody Rhodes say, hey, I restrained myself from attacking John Cena because so-and-so. Whether it's like, hey, he's my friend, whether I don't want to believe it, blah, 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 whatever. As for the rest of Raw, pretty damn good. Braun Breaker beat Finn Balor in the main event to retain the IC title. Braun Breaker just keeps getting more and more impressive. I am sick and tired, though, as a Finn Balor fan, of him losing constantly. Obviously, this looks like it's going to build up finally to the breakup of the Judgment Day. I would like to see Finn Balor just get a big win, maybe bring back the Demon at WrestleMania, beat Dominic Mysterio, and just be done with it. Maybe they'll bring back JD. I'm not a big JD McDonough fan as a person, but you could technically bring back JD McDonough if he's free and have him team up with Finn Balor to take on Carlito and Dominic Mysterio. And then you break up Judgment Day that way. But I really would like to see Finn Balor doing something relevant again. I know he's older, but for a guy in his 40s, he looks phenomenal. He looks in phenomenal shape. He could still go, but it's just been so long. And also, please, for the love of God, bring back his old music. That Def Rebel stuff is absolute hot garbage. As for the rest of the show, Ludwig Kaiser and Penta had a really good no DQ match. Penta won, of course, and he called a shot for the IC title. At the end of the show, he confronted Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins cut a promo that honestly felt like it was very by the numbers on CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and said he's going to confront them this Friday night on SmackDown. I don't know. I feel like Seth needs a refresh in his character. He's super popular. He's a great wrestler, but I don't feel like they do his character any favors with the way he's portrayed. He's always kind of portrayed as the bridesmaid. He's always kind of portrayed as the whiny guy, and some of these promos are not hitting. And he's the one ex-Shield member I feel like that still hasn't, to this day, he still hasn't totally found it. You know what I mean? He's got the it factor, he's a huge star, but I mean, he's always had to change characters every few years. And to me, my humble opinion, I know it may be unpopular, but I don't need the guy singing his theme song. I don't need the guy who's the Monday Night Messiah. I don't need the guy who's a visionary. I liked 2018 Seth Rollins, the guy that beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title, or maybe it was 2019, whatever. I like the guy that beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. I like the guy that before the feud with The Fiend, God rest his soul, was just a badass, super over, hardworking, hard-fought babyface. That's the Seth Rollins I love. That's the Seth Rollins I like. Maybe even the Seth Rollins that beat Roman Reigns for the title at Money in the Bank 2016. This whole thing, it's fun. I like the drip and everything else. But at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes with his promos, they just get a little too patterned. And at the end of the day, I think people really just like Colby Lopez, a.k.a. the guy behind Seth Rollins. And I need to see more. I would like to personally see more of that. But again, he's a big enough star. He's been around forever. But I don't know if that promo really hit. And it did really pale in contrast to Cody Rhodes' promo earlier tonight, John Cena's promo, of course, and then the usual work we get from Roman and especially CM Punk. Although I think Seth, when he's with CM Punk, does play really well off of him. But he will be confronting Roman and Punk Friday night. Not really feeling that I'm not feeling that triple threat match at all. That is the direction, which is Roman versus Seth versus Punk, unless the winner of that match ends up going to the Gunther Jay title match. Meaning, let's just say CM Punk beats Roman and Seth in a triple threat to open night one. If the winner of that triple threat goes to like the main event of night one, where like it would be Jay versus Gunther versus, say CM Punk, that'd be great. Because I feel like Jay and Gunther need some juice. I really do. I love Gunther. I love Jay Uso. But Jay Uso, it's just, I feel like he's been floundering a little bit since he won the Royal Rumble. He's so over. He's got a great connection with the fans. But I feel like they got to add a little more gravitas to this feud, some more stakes. I know the world title's a stake, but these guys are just brawling every week, confronting each other every week. It gets repetitive. You know what I mean? I almost kind of wish in retrospect, even though I love that Jay won the Royal Rumble as the underdog, I almost kind of wish they reversed it a little bit and he won I know you couldn't do that because you needed to do the Cena heel turn or some type of heel turn to align with The Rock. But in retrospect, I think creatively it would have made more sense to have Jay just win the Elimination Chamber. That way you don't have as much of a build-up to Gunther. Whereas now I feel like they're just kind of stretching it out, filling in the blanks. It'll be a great moment if and when he wins the world title. But I don't know. They got to add some more juice to it. So hopefully the Roman-Seth Punk match ends up being for a spot in the Raw World title match, which I think would increase the stakes, increase the interest, and also give an excuse for Jey Uso to actually be main event and Jey Uso in the WrestleMania main event, because as of right now, I don't think that should main event. As of right now, and I don't... Look, there's a lot of bias and sexism still to this day in wrestling. I would personally have the women's title match, the Raw women's title match, be the main event of night one. Because Rhea Ripley crashed the contract signing between her and between Bianca Belair and Io Shirai. She stole the contract. I believe she signed the contract. They had a big brawl backstage as well. And it looks like it's going to be a triple threat. Kind of silly to just steal the contract and do that wackiness. This feels like a wacky WWE angle from the past. But, hey, I guess you got to get to the triple threat match somehow. And so that should be a great match. I think there are too many multi-person matches. But look, I think Rhea, Bianca, Io, in their own respective ways, have really carried the women's division over the last year. Obviously, Bayley as well. Liv Morgan, you got to give them some love, of course. But, Naomi. But I really do feel like these three have been the pillars of their respective brands as far as like the women's division goes. And I would love to see them be rewarded with a WrestleMania main event. Will it happen? I hate to say it, probably not. But they do deserve to headline this year. And if it were me booking, I probably would have them headline night one. Other than that, as far as some other notes, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee were victorious. It looks like Chad Gable is the mystery luchador, Mr. America or whatever. That was kind of weird. I'm not really. There were some rumors that's Phoenix, but it does look like Chad Gable. Not really sure where that's going right now. It sounds like AJ Styles is building up to a WrestleMania match with Logan Paul. Not a big Logan Paul fan as a wrestler or as a person, but you know, in the WWE land, he is a big star, and in real life, he is a big star. So I guess there's worse matches for AJ than to face Logan Paul. Although if this is AJ's last year or one of his last years, I'd much rather have him wrestle somebody else, like say Braun Breaker. And it did seem like they were building up to Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles. So I don't know if they'll do like some type of multi-person. I don't want to see it that way, but I could see them doing some type of multi-person ladder match where maybe they put Logan Paul, AJ, Braun Breaker, Penta, you know, maybe Balor, Dominic, in a ladder match for IC title. I could see them doing that. Well, I like that? No. I think Braun versus Penta is a good enough one-on-one match on its own. But hey, we shall see. And yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good Raw, pretty easy to watch. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these directions are a little confusing. It was nice to see Dakota Kai, get a nice pop as well and be victorious. But I really feel like some things need to be fleshed out. There's got to be some stakes in that Seth versus Punk versus Roman match. I really feel like Seth versus Punk is a better match one-on-one. I feel like Punk versus Roman's a better match one-on-one. Unless this is going to give these guys a spot in the Jey Uso versus Gunther world title match, I really don't need to see just a random triple threat with no title, no stakes on the line other than quote-unquote pride. And keep in mind, Punk is still owed a favor by Paul Heyman dating back to Survivor Series 2024, last year. Assuming, of course, that they remember that storyline and bring it back up and all that jazz. Triple H has been pretty good as far as continuity goes compared to his predecessor. So I would like to think that'll be brought up, but to me, a favor from Paul Heyman shouldn't just be a match with Roman. It should be, hey, a main event spot, a world title shot, something like that. Gunther and Jey, I think they need more juice. They need to build up the stakes. The triple threat women's match, I think, will be fantastic, even if it's an awkward way to get there. IC title, I have no idea where they're going as far as like what the ultimate result's going to be. You know, is it going to be a multi-person match? Is it just going to be Braun versus Penta one-on-one? But I think Braun's a great champion. I think Penta's a great challenger. And as far as the WWE Championship match, I am seated. Well, I will be seated. I'm saying right now. I will be seated for John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. So, hey, what can I say? Overall, pretty damn good card in the works. We'll see how it shakes out as far as execution goes. WWE is definitely loaded. The wind's blowing in my face. I gotta get back to work. But hope y'all have a great rest of the week. I'll keep you posted on any news that comes up. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel on YouTube, youtube.com/TSC Wrestling. Or if you're listening to the podcast, TSC Wrestling with Fred Richani on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to check out our other work, you can visit tscnews.com. And yes, moving forward, all the sports courier wrestling content that you get from the TSC News YouTube channel will be now on this channel here and on this podcast feed. So stay tuned for updates, especially for WrestleMania weekend. But hey, until next time, everybody, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. As always, enjoy the matches.